All right, so let's begin with a brief background. So, what's your name?
My name is James. I am the founder and chief strategist at my marketing company, The DA. We are a video-first marketing company. We specialize in generating leads and increasing the revenue for medium-sized or mid-sized businesses.
All right, so what do you love most about what you do?
That's a good question. I love helping people. So typically, I'm lucky that I can choose the clients that I work with, and I have some great clients, and we're lucky that we build a great relationship, and I love helping them. I love helping them succeed and helping them grow the business.
Awesome. What's an example of a marketing project you've recently worked on that you've been really proud of and genuinely enjoyed?
A project that I've worked on recently was something that I've been thinking about for a while, which is basically using video in lead generation. And I came up with a new program. It took me about 6 months to do that, incorporating a lot of different tools. I was lucky enough to find a client that was willing to invest to see if that would be successful. And so far, we've generated some amazing results for them. And so for me, that's very fulfilling because I had the idea and I saw that idea all the way through to successful completion. They just renewed a contract with me. And so obviously that's the vindication of the fact that it is successful for them.
Awesome. What's your organization's biggest strength, would you say?
I think our biggest strength is the fact that we are not a traditional marketing company, if there is such a thing anymore. We very much, I come from a sales background, and so for me, sales and marketing have always been intertwined. It's always been two individual disciplines that really should have been one. And so what's fortunate for us is that sales and marketing is now considered to be one department, and so we consider ourselves to be smarketers as opposed to just marketers. So that's the intersection between sales and marketing. I think that's quite unique in the marketing world.
Awesome. Who's been your all-time best client and why?
You know, all my clients are the best clients. I think your next client should be your best.
Awesome. What's been the hardest marketing challenge you faced so far? And
the hardest marketing challenge, it was probably getting my business off the ground and basically finding a space for us in a very competitive industry. I was relatively new to marketing. It's something that I loved and I wanted to do. I wasn't sort of traditionally trained as a marketer. As I say, my background is in sales, but I felt like I had something to offer, and so I spent a while learning about marketing and really learning about what the business community wants from a marketer, and basically pulling that together in terms of a product or a service. That has been a long road, and it's, you know, starting a business is always a challenge.
Awesome. Approximately how many unique customer or client files does your business manage?
We probably have about 6 or 7 clients right now. We typically work in campaigns, so we don't do 6 or 7 campaigns concurrently, but I'm probably working on 3 projects with another couple of new opportunities in the pipeline.
Awesome. Approximately what percentage of your marketing efforts are devoted to digital/internet space?
Probably about 95% of the clients that I serve use online marketing. it's obviously that's basically where the market is, and it's an easy way to reach people, and so it's probably the most effective channel.
Has this number changed over the past few years?
Oh yeah, I mean it's dramatically changed. I mean obviously the marketing world is constantly evolving, but obviously online is the biggest channel, and the best way to reach people right now.
Awesome. Where is it heading now?
Where is marketing headed?
Yeah. In terms of like more digital, more. What do you think?
I mean, of course, yeah, it's heading towards more digital, but marketing is heading potentially to be extinct, because ultimately, I think what a lot of people are learning, a lot of new companies are learning, is that they're practicing growth marketing, which is basically about not marketing. It's about listening to your customers, it's about building great products, it's about investing money in the product or service that you offer as opposed to marketing itself. So marketing is potentially heading for extinction, which is probably the same for pretty much every other business.
That's a very bold thought, that marketing is heading for extinction. That's pretty cool. Very alternate take. So for existing customers, what has been one of your most successful digital marketing outcomes? Like, for example, blogs, emails, for staying in touch with existing clients?
Probably the most successful for me, going back to the project I mentioned earlier, we've been working on some new email campaigns, but the email campaigns that we work on basically focus really on finding the right people, so like really hyper targeting the people that we want to reach, number one, and number two is creating the content that they want to consume, and then number three is making that content engaging and compelling. And so we came up with a series of emails, and for those emails, we're seeing results in the range of 80-90% delivery. So obviously we are reaching the right people. Somewhere in the region of like 60 or 70% open rates, and click-through rates of about 25 to 40%, when the industry average is somewhere around 6. So we know that we're doing a good job with these particular campaigns.
That's excellent. So to reach new clients, what has been one of your most successful marketing methods? Promotions, contests. For getting new customers, what makes you think that it's successful?
I think that honestly, the best way to generate new clients is through referrals. Quite honestly, is if you do a great job for someone, and then basically you can bake in a referral system or a referral process into your business, and you can have your customers help you find new customers. There's no better way of doing business than that, number one. And number two is that the type of clients that you get are always very high quality, and they're already pre-sold on you, so it makes the whole process of selling to them and bringing them on board much easier and much faster.
That's great. So over the next few years, what are 2 internet or mobile trends you think will be a key to follow or become a part of?
God, that's a good question. I'm not even sure if I'm the right person to answer that, because
It doesn't have to be like, it's just a personal opinion. Maybe 2 things you think are up and coming in the sphere.
To go back to my other answer is, I think more companies are going to spend more time and more effort in terms of focusing on investing marketing funds back into their products, and making sure that they spend more time listening to their customers, and basically creating great products that don't need a lot of marketing, as opposed to average products that need a lot of marketing. I think more companies are going to focus on this growth marketing, and I think that's because it works.
Great, that's pretty cool. So what is one skill you wish you had more of, like as it relates to your career?
For me personally, the one skill I wish I had was more technical ability. I think the ability to be technical and run campaigns and to be able to program. Obviously, marketing is becoming a lot more analytical these days. Creative people are still going to be in demand, but to have that mix of creativity and technical ability, that's really powerful.
That's awesome. If you could start your career over again, 1 or 2 changes, if any, do you think you would make?
If I could start my career over again, I probably would have got into marketing sooner, because it's something that I'm passionate about and I love it. I probably may have got a more sort of traditional education around marketing, but part of me is kind of glad that I don't, because when the way I think about marketing, the way I think about my clients, and the way I think about my business, it's probably a lot different because of that. So I wish I could change things, but ultimately, would I change them? Maybe no.
Awesome. That's pretty cool. So approximately what % of your business is targeted towards marketing toward businesses and organizations versus direct to consumer?
Probably about 80-20. So I'd say 80% of my clients are business to business, B2B as opposed to B2C. That's my background, that's where I come from, and that's probably my comfort zone. I do have some B2C clients and I enjoy working with them, but most of the time it's business to business.
Awesome. So has this percentage changed over in your experience?
Not really for me, no.
Would you change this mix if you could?
No, I think B2C is a lot more complex, and there's more things that I need to learn about it. And as I say, I'm more comfortable in B2B. It's an area that I understand, and it's an area that I'm comfortable with. And so I've had success there, and so that's where I'll continue to put a lot of effort into. But I would like to learn more about B2C, because B2C is interesting, and there's a lot of change in that market.
That's great. What type of marketing training or experiences have you received, if any, and what do you think has been the most valuable?
I haven't received any really formal education in terms of marketing. I basically have picked it up as I've gone, and it's really been sort of trial and error. I think taking that approach, that's pretty much what marketing is. It's about experimentation, it's about trying things, and the first marketing video that I did cost me $2,000 because it stunk. And I think the only way you get better is by doing things, taking a risk and learning. Like, I didn't make that mistake again, let's put it that way.
Awesome. What's been your marketing career progress? Was there a plan, or did it just happen?
I think I wanted to get into marketing. Like, when I was a sales director, and I took on the role of being a marketing director too. It was by chance, and I fell in love with the marketing side of it, and eventually that's the route that I wanted to take. So it wasn't kind of like a planned route for me, but once I started working in marketing, and I decided that's what I wanted to do, I wanted to find like a segment within marketing that I knew that A, was growing, and B, that I could be good at. And video marketing for me, I love video. I love creatively images. I love creating videos, and I believe that video is basically at the forefront and the future of marketing, because nobody reads anymore. Everybody wants to consume content with video, and so that's what I believe is, from both the marketing and the sales perspective, that sales will gradually start to transition over to using more video, and that's basically what I want to be part of, is helping sales teams use video to accelerate the sales process.
Awesome. Imagine you were to take on a new position and promotion in 6 months. I mean, I know that you give yourself promotions, but in this case, imagine you have to help hire your replacement. What are 2 questions you would ask in this job interview to help you decide?
For a replacement?
Yeah. Someone to come in and do your job.
I'd ask them to give me examples of the relationships that they've made over the years in previous jobs, and then I'd go and find those people and talk to them and find out what they think about that specific person, because I feel like marketing, sales, whatever, it's about relationship building, and success is based on the quality of the relationships. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I would definitely, if they were doing my job, I'd want to make sure that that they care about the outcome. So I'd really want to sit down and talk to them about and have them explain to me about something that they cared about, and some of the challenges they had and some of the successes that they had and what they learned along the way. And if those 2 things checked out, then I think they'd be pretty well qualified for doing what I do.
Awesome. All right, so do you have one role model or benchmark marketing professional, someone you really admire?
Yeah, that's an easy one. The biggest influence on my marketing career was Seth Godin. I'm sure that's not unique, but certainly is the one person that I really enjoy reading his books, watching his videos, listening to his interviews. I think he's a revolutionary guy in terms of the way he thinks, and he's always got some great, fresh ideas, and I think he's awesome.
Awesome. So what are 2 tips you would offer to commerce students thinking about a career in marketing?
2 tips for people thinking about career in marketing. I think the first tip would be, why not? Like, obviously, marketing is all around us. Marketing seems to be getting more and more important, but marketing is also changing, and changing dramatically. And so I'd really say to them, if they're looking for something that's interesting, if they're looking for something that's exciting, if they're looking to communicate with people, to inspire people, to connect with people, what better job than marketing?
Awesome. Are there any courses or certifications you think that would be helpful or valuable?
There probably are, but I just think that we're all learning, and I think it's a constant learning curve. I don't know of anything directly, but I think that everything you see and everything you experience, like, you can potentially use in your marketing career. I mean, I know that I pick ideas up from everywhere, from walking down the street to going online, reading the news. I'm constantly looking at headlines and thinking about how those headlines are constructed and how I can use them in a marketing campaign. And so I think there's so much you can learn. It may not necessarily be from like a educational standpoint, but I think to get with a good group of people and learn from them.
Awesome. So who is one person from whom you learned a valuable career lesson? And what was that lesson?
One person. I don't know. I think for me, like I've learned a lot from different people over the years. I'm always watching people and trying to understand how they became successful. But I think ultimately the best advice you can get is the advice that you give yourself. So it's like taking the time to stop and listen to kind of what it is that you really want. For a long time I did something other than marketing, but I always knew that what I was doing wasn't ultimately what I wanted to do. And I think that really you just have to keep going out there and asking yourself questions and basically listen to yourself and find out what those answers are. There's some great people out there that will teach you things, but you're responsible for teaching yourself first and foremost.
Great. If someone works with you, what is one lesson that you hope they would learn from you?
I think the one lesson that I hope they would learn from me is to believe in themselves and to do whatever it is that they want to do. I believe that someone's mentality is their most important asset. And so I would say that a lot of people live for a long time and don't fulfill the potential because they don't believe that they can. And so I hope that I can transfer that to them, is that I'm still trying to find my potential, but having that belief makes it a lot easier.
Gotcha. What are 2 things that make your current job challenging?
2 things that make the current job. I think the one thing that makes anybody's job challenging is change. Change is consistent, and if you don't stay in front of change, or at least to pace with it, then you're done. And so when you're running a business, it's very difficult to work in the business and to work on the business. And you can only monitor change, you can only see some of the big things that are going to make that impact if you kind of make time for both. If you're constantly in the business and busy doing things, it's tough to take that overview of what clients need, what they're looking for, what their latest demands are, and so that's, to me, is the most important thing.
Awesome. Imagine you are hiring and looking for someone young and with potential who could become successful and enjoy a career in marketing with your organization. What are 2 skills, achievements, or talents that you would look for?
I think for me the most important skill, it's not really like book smart or education, it's more in terms of like their desire to succeed and basically their willingness to fail and then get back up again and do it again and succeed. Those are the things that I would look for, and it's more character traits than education or technical skills. I think obviously it's important that people can bring those skills on board, but if they don't have the personality or the characteristics on the other side, then I probably wouldn't want them on my team.
Awesome. So aside from like characteristics and stuff, if like a marketer came to you and handed you a resume and wanted to join your team, what would be 3 most important things you would look for on that resume, outside of character qualities? For the sake of it.
3 things. I think. I mean, I don't like a resume as a resume. I mean, ultimately, like a resume, it really doesn't mean anything. It gives you an indication of what somebody's done, but I would want to sit down and talk to them and find out the type of person that they are, number 1, 2, what they've done, but not just what they've done, but what they've done as opposed to what someone else has done. And I'd want to find out like what their responsibilities were and how motivated they are and what those motivations are themselves, like what gets them out of bed in the morning. That to me is what I'd be looking for in a potential hire.
Great. Okay. So what would you say are some of the easiest and most subtle mistakes to make when you're trying to close a client?
an easy mistake.
Yeah,
When
easy
you're trying to
mistakes to make.
close.
Yeah, when you're something that you find is tough about closing a client, and there's a way to approach it. You know what I mean?
Maybe I think a mistake that a lot of people make is that they assume that they know what that person wants, and just because they've told them, and I think a lot of people, like, they want things that they may not have actually communicated, and there could be like other reasons why they want to work with you, other reasons why they want to succeed, other reasons why they want their business to grow, or whatever. And so it's important that you have the ability to really sit down and talk to someone and figure out what it is they want and why. Only when you know that would you actually try and close the business, because only at that point do you know if you can help them or not. And I think trying to close business when you really don't know what someone wants to do and why would be a bad move, not just for them but also for you, because you won't be successful.
That's great. So, what would you say marketing means to you?
Marketing means to me, I think it means to identify a group of people, to connect with those people, and to inspire them to make change.
Great. What makes your business stand out from other marketing companies?
I think the people. So, my business is basically is about a group of people that are very good at what they do. Not just in terms of me, but the photographers that I work with, the videographers, the content creation people, the animators. I try and sort of align myself with people who love what they do and that are talented. And by having that network, when somebody invests in me, they're investing in results, in my ability to deliver to them exactly what they're looking for and more. And they're investing in my network. So it's who I bring and what I bring. And that's I think what's important.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, James. Really appreciate it.